Oh, hi guys, this is another lockdown video brought to you by Jess and Sachi, the pug. Today we're going to be talking about stay work. Now, first up, teaching stay, we need to have some little tasty treats that the dog's going to want to work for. Second of all, I wanted to describe to you what the difference was between stay and wait, because often there's some confusion there. So, when we're teaching a stay, which is always the first one that we teach, we always want to return back to our dog. What this does is it creates a really robust stay where the dog knows not to move out of that position. Later on, once the dog has understood the concept of not moving, then we can move on to a wait command. Now, the wait command means that we can ask the dog to come towards us when we've released it from the wait. So the difference being, with a wait command, we often create anticipation because the dogs want to come towards us in order to get their treat. Now, a wait is an awesome skill, especially when we're trying to create better recalls. But for the actual stay, it's detrimental because with our stay, we would like our dogs to relax and not move, whereas with the wait, they're often sitting there waiting and anticipating for something else to happen. So when we start with our stay, we want it to be really, really easy. So we want to be in a place where it's a low distraction. And lo and behold, today I'm inside in the bedroom, so there's nothing really to distract Sachi from the task at hand. Now, when we're working with our stays, we actually have three different things that influence our stay. We've got our distraction level, which we just talked about. We've got our distance from the dog that we're going to ask it to stay or that we're going to move away from them. And then we've got the duration that they're going to stay. So I call these the 3Ds: distance, distraction, and duration. And we only ever want to be working on one of those criteria at a time so the dog can succeed. So first up, I start with a tiny little bit of duration. So because Sachi's a more mature dog, she's going to be really easy to get to sit still. In fact, I haven't even asked her to stay, and of course that's what she's doing. Now, we start with a really good, clear, like blocking stop signal for the dog, and that becomes our hand signal for our stay. So all I'm going to ask Sachi to do is stay, good girl, and then I will give her a little treat. So this is just working on duration. Now, for those of you who've got young bouncy puppies, this is actually going to be fairly difficult. You want to capture them whilst they've still got their bottom on the ground when we reward them. And you may want to introduce a reward marker, such as saying yes, or even using a clicker when they have done the right thing. So we would mark or click whilst the dog's bottom is still on the ground, and then you would return to the dog and reward them. So once again, I'm going to say, Sachi, stay. Good girl. Now, the other thing I want you to consider is making sure that you repeat each level at 3 times before you progress to the next one. So for a young bouncy puppy, you may be only asking it to stay for 5 seconds before you reward it. So you do 3 repetitions at 5 seconds, and if the dog succeeded at each one of those, then you would move on to 8 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever you think your dog can handle. The key success to a really robust stay is ensuring that you are not being greedy. So returning to your dog before they are going to break rather than lingering and waiting and pushing them out as far as they can handle, and then they get up and move and then you've failed. All right, so the trick is make it super easy and return back to the dog, and then slowly build on that with the dog succeeding in each repetition. Stay, good girl. Once I've done my little bit of duration, then I can add in a little bit of distance. Now, for those of you, once again, with your bouncy puppies, do not expect that you are going to be able to create any huge amount of distance to start. In fact, for some dogs, even moving 1 foot backwards will be enough for them to want to get up and follow you. So we might just do a little tiny lean back before we come back in. A lean back and come back in, and always rewarding them at the end of that before you may progress to 1 step, then 2 steps. Now, once again, with the stay, always think if you've taken 1 step out, Sachi, stay. Now, let's talk about this. Sachi went into a down. I never actually asked her to do a sit stay, so that was my mistake. But you may decide that even if the dog goes down, that's fine. You're not going to be picky about which position it's in. Or for those of you who want more of a challenge, you may want to work on a stand stay, a sit stay, and a down stay. So for today's demonstration, let's get Sachi back into a sit. I'm going to say sit, stay. One step out, one step in, reward while she's in that sit. Don't linger when you're out there for your one step, because otherwise you're adding in distance and duration, guys. So it's out and in pretty quickly. Stay. Good girl. Now she thought about breaking, but she actually corrected herself, which was pretty clever. Sachi, sit.